With me today, I have my friend and fellow student. She's going to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Vivian.
Okay, so for today's interview, what we're going to be talking about is basically the positive and negative effects of coronavirus. In the media, there's been a lot of attention mainly based on the negative effects and what's been happening, and they've been projecting a lot of really scary details. So we think it's really important to talk about some of the positive things that are also happening. First, we're just going to talk really briefly about how coronavirus has personally affected us. If you want to start.
Well, of course, our school has been canceled for the rest of the year, so we've been taking online classes, so that's definitely different. And not really being able to leave the house besides for runs and not being able to see anyone is definitely affecting me and those around.
Do you think it's affected your schoolwork or your work ethic at all?
I definitely think not being in school, it's a little bit harder to stay motivated and stay on task with what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel that. I think a lot of kids have been having problems with assignments. I know personally my mom's a teacher and she's been having a really hard time motivating students because if you don't have to show up to classes, it's hard to get kids on time.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the classes I have not all of the students.
Yeah. So first up, we're going to talk about some of the negative effects coronavirus has been having. I think it's been publicized a lot that it hasn't had as big of an effect on children because their mortality rate is much lower. But personally, I think that some of the long-term effects that it's had on children are actually going to be a lot worse than we've ever thought they're going to be. What do you think about the effects on children?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people aren't getting their proper education and schooling, and a lot of people don't have access to computers and Wi-Fi and stuff, so they're not really able to attend the classes as much as there's also the motivation part of it. And it's definitely hard for kids that their parents are essential workers and babysitters can't come because you have social distancing, so little kids are being left at home alone, which is definitely a problem.
Yeah. And then also, even parents that aren't essential workers, if you aren't able to work from home, I know a lot of people that are having to get by on one paycheck or no, and I think it's really scary to think about because the two of us were really fortunate. We have internet, we have access. I think all of our parents are still working from home. So we're in a position that it's important for us to speak out about this because I know I have a lot of friends personally that their parents aren't working or they're never home now, and they're really scared.
For sure.
Okay, and then also in addition to that, there have been a lot of reports that domestic violence inside the household has raised a lot with how much people are confined to the home and the stressful situation that everyone's under. What do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure. It's scary. I've heard the domestic violence is way up, and I do volunteering at a food pantry, and now they just posted a bunch of signs. It's hotlines and stuff like that, so you can go to people there if you can't reach out while you're at home.
Yeah, I saw the thing that was if you order, it's ordering food or ordering something online. If you order a specific thing, they send officers to your house. So it's really great. One of the good things that's been happening is the amount of outreach that we've been getting, and the amount of people that are really trying to help. So I think that's great because it's obviously it's a terrible time and it's a pandemic and everything, but people are really, really trying to help each other in ways that we haven't seen in the past. Yeah. Okay, so on to a happier side of it. We're going to try and talk about some of the positives that have been happening. I think that the one positive that has really, really been displayed by the media is obviously the environment. What's been happening with that?
Yeah, for sure. The world has definitely been the carbon emissions have been down. There's not as much driving. If you go out, Lakeshore Drive's almost empty, which it's sad that people can't leave, but it's really great that the pollution is going down. And
yeah, I think we've definitely seen the effects of that here in America, but I think that the major effects, the pictures, the before and after pictures you've seen, they're in other countries that have had it a lot worse than we have, I guess. You've seen the canals in Italy, the skies in China and stuff like that. So I think that's all really positive. But something we also have to think about is that once the quarantine ends and once we're allowed to leave our houses again and stuff like that, we can't just undo all of this we did. I feel that's one of the things I really hope is that now that people have like seen where we can be if we just like make some small changes to our lives. Like obviously this was a really big change, but if we do something like this on a smaller scale, I hope that people will realize this is something that's necessary. Like you don't need to drive your car every day, and there's a lot of other things you can do that'll help the environment. So I think that's positive.
Yeah, for sure. And I think now that we've done this, a lot of companies are realizing many of their workers can work from home.
Yeah.
So maybe that will help keep the pollution down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I have noticed a lot of, like, despite all the bad news, some people are coming out with like good news networks, like John Krasinski has, and many seniors' proms have been canceled. So there's a TikTok prom. There's John Krasinski hosted one. So it's good how people are coming together and trying to make up for that stuff that kids are losing.
No, I think that's great. I think we just need to remember at the end of the day, it's the little things we can do to help. And I think networks and programs like that, especially youth-led ones, are fantastic. And I think it really tells to what we can accomplish in the future with this generation. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being interviewed.